Hi all, welcome to my channel BK Roll TV. Today we will be continuing on the build the USS Enterprise D series from Diego Zini, Japan for pack 18, stages 67 through 70. So today we will be continuing on the build the USS Enterprise D series from Diego Zini, Japan. This is for pack 18. Stages 67 through 70. So as you can see, we have the magazine for pack 18 as well as all the stages from 67 through 70 right here. But as usual, we'll go ahead and take a quick look at the contents of the magazine for pack 18 before we get started on the build. So as you can see, front cover of the magazine here has the drive section as well. Then we'll skip over the build steps and the pack and stage information here. Go directly to the contents. So as you can see, in the first content here, it's season 4, episode 7, reunion. My bad. But anyways, you can see, it's I think they introduced Alexander Worf's son there as well, and then they bring back, I think, the Chancellor, I think it was, and then you got some concept arts of the Vorcha class attack cruiser there as well, and then in episode 8 of season 4 is Future Imperfect. I think this is where the Romulans put Riker on a future version of the Enterprise with the future crew, with the and then he has a son but realizes that it's wrong, and then in episode 9 talked about Final Mission. This is, I think, Wesley's last mission before he moves on to Starfleet Academy, and then they crash on the planet with no water, I believe it was. And then episode 10 is The Loss as well, and then they got, I think, there's some background characters like Ensign Brooks that would later played by Kim Braden, that will later play Picard's wife in Star Trek Generations, as well as Ensign LMB, which takes the con in a couple of episodes as well. And then in episode 11 is Data's Day. This is O'Brien's wedding, and Data, I think Data here tries to do the tries to learn some dancing, if I'm not mistaken, from Dr. Crusher. I think that was this episode. And then I think this is the last content of this magazine, which is The Wounded from episode 12. I think this is Captain Maxwell on board the Nebula class ship, provocatively attacks the Cardassians under a false pretense or false information, you could say. Then I think Mark here plays Gul Macet, which he later on plays Gul Dukat in DS9 as well, right over here. And then got some concept arts for the Cardassian suits as well. But that is it for the contents of the magazine for pack 18. So now let's get started on the build. In stage 67, where you will be assembling another deck panel here, and then also installing this deck panel as well as the deck panel we assembled in the previous pack, and attaching that to the saucer section and lighting it up. So let's get started. So first off, we will be installing the windows here onto this deck panel piece, which is plastic here. But anyways, we'll get the windows installed, so we'll be right back. So as you can see, we now got the windows installed onto the deck panel. So next we'll be installing the reflector panel here. So for the reflector panel, The one with the little curved notch should be on the top left side. This is gonna sit just like that, right there. And then we're gonna put only one screw in. That'll be on the top left side as well. So this is one a BP screw. So we'll place the BP screw right there. Then just secure the reflector panel into place, just like that. And then next, we will be bringing over the saucer section to install these two lighting cables. So if we will zoom out, but we'll need to install these two lighting cables onto the saucer section. So let's bring over the saucer section now. So as you can see, we have the saucer section. We'll be installing the two deck panel and right around in this section right here. So first, let's go ahead and get the lighting cable installed. So for the lighting cable, we'll go ahead and separate the two wires here. So once we separated the wires here, we'll go ahead and feed the cable underneath the scale frame right here, just like that. And then it will be connected onto the there's two slots that's still open on the PCB board right there. So I'll be connecting it to the inside one here, just like that. The next we will be fitting in the second wire there, and then this one is gonna also connect to the same PCB board. So let's go ahead and get that one done. So for the second lighting cable, I'll go ahead and separate the two lights a little bit here. Then the red and black cable is gonna feed to the other side, just like that. And then we'll leave the yellow and green one right there. And then next, we're gonna take the deck panel that we just assembled earlier here, and then we will be connecting the lighting cable, which is the first lighting cable that we installed. Will be on the bottom one here. So the green and yellow cable is gonna go on the left side here, and then the red and black is gonna go on the other side. So now that we got the first set of lighting cables attached, next we're gonna attach the yellow and green lights from the second cable, and that's gonna go onto the left panel here when the panel is facing the proper way, just like that. And then we will be placing this deck panel right here. So it'll be seated in just like that there. And then next, what we're going to do is we're going to take the deck panel that we assembled in the previous pack. This is the metal deck panel. That's going to be going right here on top. Just need to make sure the lighting is properly seated in place. So now that the deck panel is in position, we'll be securing all both of the deck panels into place with 3 FM screws. So let's screw it in. So now that we have the deck panel installed, let's go ahead and test the lighting. So as you can see, the lighting for these two deck panels here are working. If you turn off the other light here, we'll see a little bit better. As you can see, it is working. If we zoom out here, you can see the rest of the lighting as well. So let's go ahead and turn back our studio lights. And then that is it for stage 67. So in stage 68, we'll be installing another piece of the deck panel. This is going to go on the other side of the saucer section. I believe this starts the edge of the saucer section. And then we will be also assembling the nacelle bracket for the starboard side, attaching the panels together. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started. So first off, we will be installing the escape pod hatches onto this metal deck panel here. If you zoom in, you can see this deck panel has a nice texturing and the color difference resembling the deck panel. But anyways, we'll go ahead and install the escape pod hatches and then be right back. So as you can see, we now have the escape pod hatches installed. So next we'll be installing the cover, this reflector panel here, this black reflector panel, and then we'll be securing that into place with 2 AM screws. So it's going to basically sit just like that. The panel, the reflector panel, there's a numbering on it. It says L3-01-008-09. The numbering will face upwards, just to let you know. And then, like I said, we'll be securing that into place with 2 AM screws. So let's screw it in. And then next, we'll be installing the edge piece of the sausage section here onto the bottom side there, just like that. Then we'll secure that into place with 2 DM screws. So let's screw that one in, just like that. So as you can see, we have this deck piece assembled. Next, we'll be bringing over the saucer section and then getting this deck panel installed there. So as you can see, we have the saucer section. We'll be installing this deck panel right into this edge spot right there. It's going to secure into place just like that. And then we'll be securing this panel onto the frame with 2 FM screws. So let's go ahead and screw that one in. So as you can see, we now got this deck panel screwed in. So next we will be placing the escape pod cover here for the screw. So we'll go ahead and put that little escape pod cover there. So just like that, we now have the escape pod screw cover there installed. So we'll go ahead and set the saucer section aside. And then next we will be assembling the starboard side nacelle bracket here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the lateral phaser array here, which is this piece right here. Then we will go ahead and put that right in through that hole there in the middle. And then we'll be taking 2 of the springs that comes in this stage. So these are the tiny little springs there. And then we'll be placing that right on top of the pins on the phaser array there. And then next we will be bringing over the skeleton frame for the entire nacelle pylon here. And then we'll be placing this cover right on the outside there. So it's gonna sit just like that. The spring should go through the 2 holes that's right there in the center of the skeleton frame. So make sure that the springs are still in position. Actually, before we rather secure it, we'll be getting the inside cover for the nacelle pylon here. So let's get that there installed just like that. And then we will be securing the 2 pieces together from the inside with 2 BP screws. So let's get that screwed in. Then once that's screwed in, we'll go ahead and get 2 more BP screws and then screw it in from the outside here. So as you can see, we have 2 screw holes right there and there. So we'll put the 2 BP screws from the outside as well. So now that we have the 2 covers to the nacelle pylon secured into place, we will be placing this screw hole cover on the inside screw holes there. So let's go ahead and do that. So as you can see, we have the screw covers installed. So that is it for stage 68. In stage 69, we will be installing this transporter emitter pad here, and then just basically sticking that onto this panel that goes to the nacelle bracket that we've been working on in the previous stage. But this is a very quick and simple stage, so let's get started. So as you can see, we have this nice looking deck panel, nacelle panel here. Got the Enterprise logo there as well. But anyways, we'll be sticking these 2 emitter pads right into this little rectangular a hole there. So basically it's gonna stick right there. So let's go ahead and get those emitter pads installed. Make sure that the pads are stuck on tight. And we'll go ahead and do one more for the other side. Just like that. So as you can see, we now have the both emitter pads installed onto the nacelle panel there. And then that is it for stage 69. It's very quick and simple stage. So we'll move on to the next stage. So in stage 70, we will be assembling another piece of the deck panel for the underside of the saucer section. And then also starting on the rear section of the drive section as well, or the bow section. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started. So first up, we will be starting on the deck panel here for the underside of the saucer section. So we'll need to attach some of the escape pod hatches on here as well. So we'll go ahead and attach those hatches and then be right back. So as you can see, we now have the escape pod hatches installed. So next we're going to install the reflector panel here over the hatches. So just make sure that the letter and lumbering on the reflector panel is facing on top or towards you. And it'll just sit right there just like that, and then we'll be securing that into place with 2 AM screws. So let's screw it in. So now that we got the reflector panel screwed in, next we will be attaching the outer frame on the edge of the panel here, which is this piece. It's going to be the edge surrounding the edge of the saucer section of the windows there. So basically this piece will attach, will sit right there, right over those 2 screw holes and the 2 pins. Then we will secure that into place with 2 DM screws. So let's screw that one in. And just like that, we now have this deck panel all set up. So now we're going to attach this deck panel onto the saucer section. So let's bring over the saucer section. So as you can see, we now have the saucer section here. So we'll be attaching this piece right here in this part here. So let's go ahead and make sure this deck panel is seated in correctly. And just like that, we have the deck panel in. So we'll be securing the deck panel into place with 2 FM screws. So let's screw that one in. So now that we got the deck panel in, one final step for this deck panel is to attach the screw cover, which is the escape pod shaped. So we'll be placing that right there. Then it'll sit right there just like that. And then we are done with the saucer section for this stage. So next we'll move on to the battle section, or the drive section. So here we have the piece for the battle section here. So basically what we're going to do is we are going to install the supply ports, which is these 2 little plastic pieces right here. So basically they'll be attaching right onto these 2 screw holes there. So just for your information, this little supply port, as they call it, has 2 little plastic, 2 little notches, sticking pins, if you could say, that's sticking out. That will go on through these 2 little holes there. So it only fits in one direction, just like that. And then we will secure that into place with 2 CP screws. So let's screw it in. So as you can see, we have the 2 little supply ports installed right there. If you flip it over, you can see that'll be these 2 little black squares on each side. And then that is it for stage 70 and for pack 18. So in pack 18, what we've did is we've installed some more deck panels here. I think we installed these 2 deck panels and then 2 of the edge deck panels on either side. And then also started working on the deck panels or the paneling on the drive section, the rear, on the nacelle side of it, on one side here, and then also the paneling for that here as well. I believe later on we'll attach onto there just like that. And then we also started on the battle section, at least the tail end of it, so that will most likely go somewhere here as well. But yeah, so far starting to look much like the Enterprise D. Can't wait to complete the entire build here and then see the final model of it. It will look really awesome. But anyways, hope you're enjoying this video series on build the USS Enterprise D. Stay tuned next month as we go through the another pack. But anyways, hope you're enjoying the video. If you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.